sorry if I'm coughing. I have like allergies. Where was this one? This one's like... Actually... Let's go to this one first. Sorry. Again. If like anybody's watching, I'm just saying like if you hear me like coughing and I sound like kind of bad, it's not that I'm sick, I have allergies going on, and it is what it is. So, but, my God. Sorry.
Memories. So dark.
Now, wait a sec. Oh, today's our big day! We're supposed to leave the Fortress of Mirapede! Come on, we've got to go complete the release procedures now!
Please, sign here. This document will be effective immediately upon signing.
Sorry.
You two may exit the Fortress of Mirapede via the
It's been so long since we've been to the surface. Let's hurry. Huh?
What's happening? I'm fine, thanks. But...
Let's go ask the Duke. Your Grace?
Ah, good to see you two.
Yeah, what was with that earthquake just now?
Ah, that. The tremor didn't originate from the seafloor. In fact, it seems it came from the surface. Over the years of serving as the warden here, I have developed a sense for distinguishing between what occurs on the surface and what occurs underwater.
So the fortress is open.
If you recall our last incident, if there really were a problem, there would be crowds of inmates in a panic right now.
Huh. You've got a... by the way, do you know what day it is?
I believe today is this month's pipe cleaning day.
Wait, seriously?
Ah, yes. Have you completed your release papers?
Yep. It's you two. Are you leaving now? That's right. Today is our last day in prison. But, oh yeah, Paimon... Then be sure to come back and visit. I'll miss you.
If you've signed the release papers, then you're free to go. The guards will escort you out.
You're not going to see us off?
I knew you'd ask. All right, sure.
Well, you actually agreed.
Ah, so you do have a polite side.
After being down here for so long, I imagine you must feel like you're lacking companionship. Yeah, don't worry, we'll come back to see you.
I hope you won't be here as convicts the next time I see you.
We'll do our best to stay out of trouble. Well, it seems our work in the fortress... We should probably go report to him now. You're going to see Monsieur Nervillette? Please pass on our kind regards.
I'm sure just your... You're right. I've heard the Palais has been terribly busy these days. Tell him that I hope he hasn't been overwhelmed by the recent string of troubles.
Ow. That one actually... That... That one. Yeah.
The Palais Mermonia sure is buzzing with activity today.
Halt! Huh? Oh, it's you two. Apologies. Monsieur Neuvillette did say you'd be welcome at any time.
Excuse me. Would you mind helping me take a...
I'll be right there. Sorry, I've...
Everyone's so busy. Seems a lot has been happening. Neuvillette!
Hello.
Oh,
You've
hi.
come at the right time, but in the meantime, please, have a seat.
That's all right. We just ate.
Sorry, like, if I'm not talking, you hear,
Very
like,
well.
coughing a lot.
Let's take a break over there while we wait for him to finish his work.
All right. That should wrap things up for now.
Are you done with your work?
Yes, sorry to keep you waiting. Today should be the day you were released from the Fortress of Meripede, and it appears that you have managed to complete all the release paperwork.
That's right, and we came here to see you right away.
A massive whale.
Do you have any idea what that might be?
Judging from your description, that cannot have occurred in any ordinary waters, but rather something like the primordial sea. A whale of that size and shape cannot usually be found in the waters of Tevat. Therefore, we can only assume that Child is presently immersed in primordial seawater.
Immersed in primordial seawater?
Most people wouldn't be capable of entering in the first place. I'm not completely sure how he could have gotten there myself. Yes? What is it?
Ah, right! Paimon felt it too! We asked the Duke and he said said it wasn't from underwater, so we figured you might...
It turns out that I have just received a report about this particular matter. In fact, that's exactly what I was busy with a moment ago. The source of the tremor was here on the surface near Poisson. After the shaking stopped, the water levels in the Poisson area rose at an alarming rate.
The water levels rose? Oh no!
Fortunately, the water levels only rose for a short period of time, and have already returned to normal now. If the change in water levels is connected with the leaking primordial seawater, then the situation in Poisson may be much worse than it appears.
Navia should be in Poisson, right?
I would also like to go there as soon as possible, but I'm afraid I can't leave just yet. We must immediately formulate disaster prevention plans for the surrounding coastal areas to avoid potential catastrophes. I'll have to ask you two to go to Poisson first. I'll meet you there to check on the situation once I finish things here.
There's no time to lose! Let's get going!
Please be careful.
Oh no! What happened here? Navia should be around here, right? We haven't seen a single soul all the way here.
What will I ever do now?
Look, there's someone on...
Just stay put! We're coming up! Watch your balance!
All right. I'm not young anymore.
Oh, he looks pretty sad.
My leg. How could this have happened?
Just hang in there.
Oh, it's Navia. She's over there. Hey, Navia, are you okay?
You're here.
We heard there was a situation.
Yes. As you...
Demoiselle! There was a wounded resident next to a building southeast of here. We've already transported him to safety.
He's wounded?
He fell, so it's probably a broken leg.
He jumped down then. Find the leader of Squad 1 and tell him to...
Understood. I'll take over his
All right. You'll... I'm sorry. Where were we?
This...
Right. Allow me to explain. A little earlier, we suddenly heard a loud noise. At first, everyone thought that the rushing water seemed a little odd, almost like the unique color of primordial seawater. Some people didn't realize the danger and thought it was just ordinary water, leaking from somewhere. Everyone on the street who happened to be close to the water didn't have a chance to escape. Those who realized what was happening started to flee in a panic, desperately trying to get to... The Spina di Rosula initiated rescue operations as quickly as possible, but there have been a lot of casualties. The water that flooded the area contained primordial seawater, so the lower levels of Poisson are still hazardous. No one knows if this could happen again.
How awful.
It was quite frightening indeed. I hope...
Is there any way we can help now?
Thank you for being
Don't say that, Navia. That's what friends are for.
Demoiselle! We've got a situation here!
Sorry. I need to go for now.
And off she goes.
Okay, the wounded are being tended to. Of course, we should remain ready for anything. Traveler, Paimon, would you two accompany me to my father's grave for a moment?
Huh? Right now?
Thank you. Not a lot of people here, huh?
Well, given the time of...
Right. That's...
Navia? Navia, what's wrong?
Sorry. I just... Malus and Silver... They won't ever come back here.
Huh? What happened to them?
Everyone agreed on the rescue plan. They were helping evacuate the residents, and...
What?
I've known them for so... I could at least hold a funeral for my father. And I know where he rests. But as for Malus and Silver, they're just... gone.
Everything looks so clean after it rains. Even the gravestones. I didn't expect...
I can understand.
See, it's not just me.
How could Master ever be upset with you, Demoiselle? Yet the cemetery is...
Buying yourself a plot in advance, are you?
No need yet. But when I do, I hope you'll let me be buried beside Master Callus, Demoiselle.
Hey!
I'm quite serious.
That makes sense.
After all, besides you, Demoiselle, the two of us...
Personally, I believe we fill the...
Why are you bringing this up all of a sudden? Seriously. But I'd really prefer not to talk about this stuff. And what do you mean by saving me a trip? I'd promised to let them rest in peace here. I'm sorry for letting you see me in a mess like this.
Paimon doesn't know how...
I had always thought I could make my wishes come true. Malus and Silver have helped me. So I'm so sorry.
You can spend as much time as you need here, Navia.
Thank you. By the way, you can have a look at this.
Oh, Benna. So, everyone else is safe.
It's okay. I know what you're thinking. And you're right. The overall outcome indicates that the cost...
Right. Malus and Silver...
You're right. What you said just now was pretty amazing, actually. I'll remember your words.
Oh!
Seems you've become more eloquent in the time since we last met.
The knave?
Is everything going well on...
Yes, my people are carrying out the mission according to your request. All the rest... As for these supplies, we have everything taken care of.
Thank you very much.
Wait, do you two know each other?
We just met recently. Right, Miss Navia?
Thanks to the knave.
Mutual aid is essential to fostering positive developments. We were already in the area, in any case, so it was nothing. That said, I must say that you're a lot sharper than you...
I apologize for all the ways in which I tested you previously. We've never worked. My subordinates have reported that Fatui soldiers have been observing water levels and taking head counts in various locations. I hear that they've also prepared a large amount of emergency supplies. I'm quite surprised.
This is nothing to, as I've told this lending your organization a hand.
Without your help, there would have been many more.
Furthermore, I sincerely regret what happened to Malus and Silver.
Don't say that. You and your subordinates did. As Paimon said, Malus and Silver didn't choose to sacrifice themselves for any specific person. I've never liked hearing people put it that way.
You're right. I'm sorry. Water is life to Fontaine's people, and it also spells disaster.
So, you're one?
Of course. That is why I'm going to Hotel Bouffe de Thé. I still have some things to take care of, and the children need my attention. By the way, Traveler, Paimon, one more thing.
Alright, then we'll just...
That is a clever and useful conversation technique, which I do like to use when necessary. But there's no need today. It would not hurt to have Miss Navia listening in. Traveler, I'm sure you remember that I said we could work together when we had the chance. You and I both know that there may be issues with the Primordial Sea. Previously, it was the Fortress of Meripede's sluice gate, and this time it was the water levels in Poisson. Indeed. Allow me to share the latest intel I've received from the House of the Hearth's intelligence network with you. During some recent investigations, a child claimed to have discovered some ruins near Poisson. The ruins date back to ancient times, and judging by the dating of the ruins, they may be related to the prophecy and the coming crisis. My people initially came to prepare for ruin exploration. Unexpected.
So that's why the Fatui were already in
I wanted to take the children along, but unfortunately, Linny, Lynette, and Fremine have all been dispatched to higher ground to assist affected residents. Linny told me that outside of the house, the person they trust most is you, which is why I want to give you this task. The House of the Hearth's members see each other as family, but Linny, Lynette, and Fremine said that they also see you as such, even though you are not from the house. I'm sure you already understand how earnest they consider their friendship with you to be.
Oh! That somehow makes Paimon feel kinda happy.
The intel I just shared about the ruins could fetch a high price. But since the children consider you family, it's only natural that I freely share it with you.
Got it! So all we gotta do is go to some ruins, right?
Excuse me, but may I tag along?
You wish to join, Miss Navia?
But are you sure you're up to exploring some ruins? You need to rest.
Well, I'm sad, yes. But I can't just go back and plop myself into a chair by the roadside and do nothing. There's no point in being depressed while we still have a disaster on our hands. As my father's successor, I must live up to the hopes he had in me. Besides, I'm also doing this for myself. I need something, a distraction, to keep my mind off Malus and Silver.
Since you put it that way, I have no objections. What do you say, Traveler? All right. The ruins are to the south of Poisson. Here's the map.
Okay, let's do
Sorry.
these the ruins the knave was talking about?
They seem to be...
Let's go in.
Just speak.
Boring! Order guide you. Fallen leaves, adorn my night! Lament! Here! Here!
Dada Kunda.
The floor here isn't safe. This place has also been contaminated by...
Yeah. And a lot of it, too. A Fontainian would most likely dissolve the moment they fell in.
Right! You can't go down if there's primordial seawater. It's too dangerous and it won't be a... don't get by my wrong. We're not saying you're useless.
No, you're right. That complicates things. Maybe the only way left is forward.
In that case, do you want to wait for us?
The water levels here are unstable, and there's a chance the water will rise. I'll go together with you. Perhaps we'll find the exit just up ahead.
All right. Come with us for now then, but please be careful. Oh no, it's a dead end! Let's try climbing over from the side.
Wait, there's something wrong with this bridge. Run for it!
Demoiselle, what are you doing?
Maybe she just wants some time to herself.
Yes, it...
That's quite
Oh. This is a familiar feeling, yet something's a little strange.
Is something the matter, Demoiselle?
Oh, no. No, I'm fine. I was just trying...
Do you remember?
We were headed to see.
Ah, right.
Oh, Miss Navia. Ah, Mr. Malus. And Mr. Silver, too. I've been great. They were knocking at my...
Sometimes.
Oh, yes. One moment, I have it right here. Miss Navia, these are some flower seeds that I prepared. Please take them. I don't know what we would have done without your help. So this is a...
Did you cultivate them yourself?
Why, we can have as many pots as you'd like, demoiselle.
Perfect. In that case, we'll swap out some of the decorative plants for...
Very well.
Wait. Something seems... Excuse me, madam. If I'm not mistaken, your name...
That's right.
No, it's nothing. This is the first time we've ever met, but your name seemed familiar to me. I've heard this name before. Sometime recently, I'm sure of it. And why are there so few people around here?
We must mind the time, demoiselle.
Huh?
Well, now, did you...
Miss Navia, here you are. I've been looking for you.
My trial?
Yes, she's right, demoiselle. It's just about time now, so we should get going.
Oh? All right then.
Look, it's Navia. She's here.
And her two attendants are with her. Goodness, everyone's finally here.
There sure are a lot of people here to see the trial. And they all seem to be Karina, Desiree, Joyville, Jolie, Essen. And as for the judge...
Please sit in the defendant.
All right, but...
Typically, it wouldn't be...
Hey, what kind of place do they think this is?
Come on, do they have any...
Enough with the whisper!
My dear Miss Navia, as all here know, you are after you took over this... Not only you, but your...
Wait a moment. Aren't you just proving that I'm a good person?
Yes, correct. Absolute. We are one big family. All of us who are from Poisson, inextricably linked. And with you being so... Therefore, this fair and honorable court shall declare you guilty, and you shall...
Huh? What? Everything you have said is correct.
Ah, well...
How wonderful, Miss Navia!
I know all these people. Why are they laughing?
Wait just a moment. This isn't right!
Malus?
What was that, Mr. Malus? Our conclusion is very clear and unanimous. Let the court judge her now. She's...
Stay here, Navia! You're one of us!
Demoiselle, don't admit guilt. This trial means to...
I wish to exercise my right to defend Our Lady. Mr. Joinville, you only know of Navia's goodness, but...
She was born a free and independent spirit.
Her actions cannot... Please do not mistake...
Really? As an individual, you say? Don't forget, we are all Fontainians here. This is the nation of justice, the nation of Hydro. Even if, Miss Nav, everything is measured here in the nation of... Now, I speak for everyone. Our opinion is consistent. Navia should stay.
And you would call this justice? Have you forgotten how much you all...
Do you mean to defy our justice?
If your justice is...
As you said, we can also have our own justice. Silver and I shall defend... And that...
Demoiselle!
Silver, I remember now. Everything that Karina, Desiree, Joyville, Jolien, Essen, and Mr. Giverny and Mrs. Burnett, who we met earlier. Even Malus and Silver. I don't want to admit it, but they're all dead.
Don't be afraid.
Absurd! Who are you to say that? Don't let them escape!
Mr. Malus and Mr. Silver, must you be so stubborn? How could the two of you possibly hope to stand against the collective? Do not resist. This judgment is fair and just. Navia belongs to... After all that happened, she should not be left alone in Poisson.
Wow.
What are you saying?
No more excuses!
She says we're jealous. Jealous? How could she possibly be an independent individual?
Oh, that's just great.
What's with these people?
Who's jealous of her?
She belongs to us!
Miss Navia, she...
Silence!
That's...
Monsieur Neuvillette!
Such commotion is prohibited. The court will adjourn.
Our thanks.
Please leave with me,
But...
Go on now, demoiselle. This is your only...
Loose.
My apologies. I couldn't resist making one little joke once I realized that...
Malus... Silver...
Quickly, you must...
Goodbye.
Farewell.
No, wait! Just a second!
Navia?
You're awake. Good.
I must have been dreaming. Malus and Silver were still alive, and they were defending me at some insane trial.
It looks like you're all right.
Did all the sad feelings cause you to have a nightmare? Paimon could give you a hug.
The ruins you were exploring suffered a cave-in. You were just about to... I think I saw 2 Oceanids protecting you. It was only for a moment, perhaps even a fraction of a second. But were it not for their intervention...
Wait, did you say Oceanid?
Perhaps those 2...
I always told them that they didn't have to protect me.
Please come with...
Neuvillette, are you okay?
Oh, I am quite all right. Perhaps there's something we could chat about?
Why do you look so... Oh, Paimon knows.
I merely thought that we should give Navia some time to herself.
Huh? Why didn't...
Ah, Sigewinne. I hope all is well with her these days. Her work in the Fortress of Meropide has not been too much for her, has it?
No way, don't worry. She's doing fine down there. She's an amazing head nurse.
I see. Well, that is good. I have always worried that Sigewinne would need a lot of time to understand the world of humanity, just as I have.
Oh, and the Duke also says hi. Even though Sigewinne made him do that. He hopes that you haven't been overwhelmed.
Thank you. I have indeed been busy lately, and I also hope that everything is going well in the Fortress of Meropide.
He still doesn't know what to talk about. So, Neuvillette... This isn't going anywhere. Let's try something else.
Yes, in fact. Amid my astonishment, I ran into the knave, and we had a chat. She informed me that she had asked you to investigate the ancient ruins here.
Yeah,
I'm sorry to have kept you all waiting like that. I'm feeling much better now. I guess we should get going again. Will you come with us, Monsieur Neuvillette?
Yes, if you wouldn't mind my company.
All right! Another one joins the party! Let's get going then!
As one with wind and cloud!
Useless!
Crumble!
Oh my god. Not what I meant to do.
Stabilize!
Disappear!
Useless!
Here! Here!
This is order.
Foreign!
Oh no! Another unstable path! Watch your step! Watch out! There are rocks falling over here!
Worthless! Aimless! Here!
It seems we're almost at the top. Keep it up!
Yeah.
Fallen leaves, adorn my night!
I will have order.
Disappear!
Useless!
Worthless! Here! Worthless!
Solidify!
As one with wind and cloud!
Order guide you.
Dada Kundala.
Looks like we've reached the end.
This is the place. There should not be any other hidden spaces in the vicinity.
The path sure had some twists and turns, but it turns out that this place isn't actually that big.
Stone slates? It seems like they were put here as an offering.
Perhaps we should just leave them be for now.
There are 4 locations in total, but only 3 stone slates. The slate that should be in the first empty spot is missing.
The surrounding walls also show signs of damage.
There's something written below. Let Paimon see. Reason dictates that this nation be destroyed. I shall record the history of its future here.
It feels like someone left these slates and these words here for a purpose.
That would fit the circumstances dictated by the prophecy, yes. Indeed, the slate's contents correspond to it. Take the second slate, for example.
There's a person kneeling here. She seems so dedicated. And there's a whole bunch of other people behind her doing the same. She's facing this...
Oh, hi.
What is this?
And is the 4th image.
The people will all be dissolved into the...
Nothing much. You?
More information should be hidden in these slates, but I fear I cannot easily uncover it. Most likely due to us missing the first...
Don't blame yourself, Mr.
Paimon's getting the chills just looking at these. This says that it's... Still...
That's right! If the images are in chronological order, shouldn't the 4th, the waters drowning fontaine, come...
And yet the order is reversed here.
Yeah.
If we go by timing...
Egeria, then. I had the previous Archon kneeling before the floating island in the skies, as if confessing a sin.
Did she herself commit that sin? And if not, why would she be in such a posture? Also, I'm still wondering why these ancient stone slates are here at all.
Every time, like,
Judging from their contents,
there's, like, something, like, new in Genshin, like, I'll live stream it.
Clues will have to come.
In that case, there's no...
Yeah, we better get somewhere safe for now.
Let's split up here. I'm going to check on what's happening with the Spina. You know...
You still...
I'll depart as well. Thanks for your hard work today. Traveler, I will go talk to Farina tomorrow morning to ask about the stone slates. I'm sure that you're concerned about this matter as well. If you have time, drop by my office.
Are you really gonna talk to her about this direct?
She has long been harboring secrets, and will not give them up easily.
Alright, we'll leave it in your hands then.
I will be carefully considering my words tonight.
Traveler, Paimon, our safe house at the Fleuve Cendre is always open to you, as ever. Alright. I'll be on my way then.
We're finally back!
Welcome back. We've got a special menu.
Yay! And there's good food too! really starting to...
Oh, that voice. Is that who I think it is?
Huh?
Mona? Ugh.
It's you two.
What's she doing here? Oh well.
Seriously, nobody just uses a scry glass whenever they've got time to just see who they'll meet on the road.
Still, we didn't expect to see you here. Wait, you're not a Fontanian, are you?
Well, I have some business to attend to here, so I booked a hotel in the city. I was just out for a stroll when I bumped into you. Why did you think I was from Fontaine, though? Well, I used to have my own surname, which was, well, some other thing. Either way, the old hag told me when she took me as her disciple that the first step to being a great astrologist's pupil was to change that name. There was nothing for it, really. She really is amazing at astrology, so I changed my name to what it is now according to her wishes. Nope. Although it is used by us in place of surname.
Wow! Imagine including...
I reckon so. In any case, I'd give my disciple a name like this as well, if Astromancer Barbeloth Trismegistus.
Whoa, that's a long one.
My name means Mona the Great Astrologist. As for the old hag, hers is, in plain speech, the thrice-as-great Scholar of the Stars. Just take it as a title specific to astrologists.
Wow.
Thrice-as-great? That's so... petty.
Cute. It's great. That's so petty.
I know, right?
Wow.
That's just how she is. She used to call herself Megistus, actually, but once she took me in, she changed her name to Trismegistus.
Talk about excessive.
Megistus is thus the calling card of our school, so to speak, which makes it about the same as a surname. It's all right if you don't get it.
That sounds terrible! But anyway, you're not Fontanian, are you, Mona?
Well, I was born in Mondstadt, yes. My parents migrated to Dorman Port, and I traveled with the old hag for a while, after which I...
Oh, that's a good thing then. At least we know you won't be dissolved by...
Speaking of that, I'm sure you're aware that a bunch of things have happened here in Font. There's something ominous about it. Well, the water, I mean. That was the main reason, yes. Just a while back, the Steambird invited me to take part in a panel and speak about the circulation of the prophecy as an astrologist. The invitation was sent quite early on. I don't think anyone expected Fontaine to be in this much trouble.
What do you make of that prophecy, Mona? Just tell...
What I can tell you is that I'm an astrologist, and that this prophecy concerns the fate of Fontaine, even that of Altivat. I'm afraid that this is not... But on the flip side, the prophecy is so huge and powerful that it must surely come from a powerful visionary. Its contents and...
A visionary?
Of course. The old hag could do it, and... are you sure? All right, I'll help you.
Thanks, Mona!
Oh, well.
That's the greatest of astrologists for you!
Indeed, indeed.
Oh, sorry. I came to see what all the commotion was about.
Oh, whoops. Guess we were getting a little too carried away there. Well, I'll go tend to my own business now.
And there she goes, quick as rushing water. And here we are with... Right, but we were able to recruit... Good morning. To be honest, Paimon's still feeling kind... But it's time to get up, Trav.
You're here! Finally! Monsieur Neuvillette and Lady Farina, they seem to have gotten into a dispute. Please go see for yourself.
Like I said, I've already explained everything.
And yet the problem... It is not my intention to offend you, but please, tell me where you stand. You are the Hydro Archon Focalor, are you not? Look at this. This is a list of the victims from the recent Poisson incident.
You mean...
We did not arrive in time to avert this disaster. I will say this once more. You must tell me everything you know. Yesterday, I found 3 stone slates in some ancient ruins near Poisson. Do you know anything about those?
Seriously? You're questioning me like this is a court case now. I don't know anything about that. But you found them in some ancient ruins, you say?
That's correct, which is... The second of these slates depicts the previous Hydro Archon Egeria kneeling before a floating island in the sky, as if confessing something. Do you know nothing of this either?
I don't. I've never seen such slates.
To plug my phone in real quick.
I'll ask you again. Do you really have no information regarding the previous Archon? My deciphering of the slates indicates that the Hydro Archon Egeria once had to confess to, or apologize for, a certain sin. If anyone would know about it, it should be you.
Gods don't have the same secrets, you know. She was herself and I'm me. Is it really so strange that I know nothing? I understand your concerns, but I'm sorry. I just don't have anything to tell you.
Forgive me for saying this now, Lady Farina, but I have long known of your various secret investigations into certain matters. There are several indications that you have been This is not strange in itself, considering that you are the Hydro Archon. But it is strange that you should also claim to not know any of Egeria's secrets, as well as do nothing following your inquiries. You have never been as superficial as you have presented yourself to be, nor are you a fool. And yet, your behavior is very inconsistent.
So you've been watching me all this time, have you? I didn't think you were that type. Well, since you know about my secret investigations, then there's no point questioning or suspecting me. You're the Eudix, but you're still my subordinate. You should be following my lead. Just trust in me. You're Archon, that's all I have to say. We do not discuss— Oh! The opera's about to start.
Did Farina not notice us standing by the door? Wonder what's up with her.
I assume you've been outside for a while now?
Oh! You noticed!
She was in a great panic, though I cannot discern the reason. Our discussion reached impasses time and again, a state of affairs that we cannot allow to continue. Still, I do not understand. Dialogue is the basis for understanding, so why did she keep refusing to engage? Everyone in her inner circle has noticed that she is hiding some secret. The issue, we may have to create a situation in which she will have no choice but to speak.
Oh? Like what?
Normally, people will only reveal the truth when standing trial. Perhaps we must have the Hydro Archon experience just such a scenario.
But Farina's seen so many trials, and she's really good at dodging questions. How do we
We will need to consider this thoroughly, join forces with various parties, and then... If at all possible, I would prefer to recuse myself from this affair, but we must prevent the prophecy from coming to pass. This may be cruel to her, but all Fontaine is in crisis. The information a god possesses is too precious, and so we must take a chance on this. But who will lend...
Well, that's every... Speaking of which, it was pretty smart of you to think of hiding here.
Poisson was just involved in a disaster, so...
And here you are drinking tea like it's the most natural thing in the world, huh?
That's what family should do. Sit...
It's nice to enjoy tea here, you know? Care for a cup?
Lend me your ears, everyone. Or perhaps one of you might like to start us off. How about you?
Me?
Then, how about you?
I fear that I will cause the mood on this boat to become as somber as it is in cold.
Well then, I guess we're lucky we've got a local like me to organize things. Wonderful, the spotlight at last. I guess I'll be facilitating things from here.
That was a little long-winded, don't you think?
Oh, you might be right. Anyway, to cut to the chase, our friend here, the Traveler, has brought us together to discuss something. As for what that is, well, let's start by saying that we'll be pooling our efforts together to create a series of traps.
Oh? How intriguing.
Well, it's just an expression, really. One that I just...
Huh? Didn't you say that you would be facilitating this?
Oh, come now. Your work doesn't involve much public speaking, right? This is a good...
I see.
He is glad that you consider him your boss. Do go on.
In that case, do any of you have experience hunting?
Not that I recall. Fremine and I once used a wooden stick in a basket to catch wild rabbits when we were younger.
I've also gone diving to catch some fish before. Does that count?
I'm afraid not. You may or may not have heard, but Fontaine once played host to a group known as the Marechaussee Hunters. Though that was their name, today, Fontaine's monster population has already thinned greatly, so the hunters have blended back into society. A trap comprises of the following components: bait, a trigger, and a containment device. Sometimes a lethal implement will also be necessary to deal with the prey. So, if we were to build a trap together, right now, what would you choose to build it with?
For me, I would prefer something basket-shaped. Pigeons and rabbits will see the bait and naturally enter the snare. Our line of work requires a deft hand, and we're some of the best in the industry.
You used some of those techniques while moving the people of Poisson, didn't you? My subordinates mentioned that...
Yes, and I even managed to gather some intelligence in the meantime. I'm quite the multitasker, if I do say so myself.
I'm afraid I can't claim that as my strong suit. I prefer more stable methods, like placing bait in the water and waiting for the fish to come within reach. That's the kind of method I would count on.
Calm and steady. Exactly the kind of person who would catch loads.
And I can be their assistant.
With discretion, I'm sure.
I remember that you liked...
I did. And that would be a good way to go about it. If they're realistic enough.
What about you, Monsieur Neuvillette?
I fear I do not have any related experience.
That makes sense. You usually solve problems directly. But I do have one more question for you, Monsieur. If we were to create a trap now, how would you design it?
I would like for it to be effective, but bring no harm to the prey. A more gentle trap would be...
Kind, as always. However, our intention doesn't necessarily change the containment device and the type of implement we need. If we wanted to kill the prey in one strike, we would need a powerful implement. However, that also goes for prey that must be captured and safely contained.
Wait, why is that?
Only a hunter who's a true expert at subduing their prey can...
So, are we going hunting together?
Huh. We hadn't thought of seeing ourselves as hunters.
If our means of capturing and dealing with our prey is to put them on trial, then the hunting metaphor is actually quite accurate. But we shall require much more courage than any hunter to...
Oh, so that's what's going on. Sounds very interesting.
It's been a few days. Paimon thought they'd be at least a little frightened. Well, Fremine was, now that Paimon thinks about it. It's hard to say. Paimon doesn't have it. After all, you're the most reliable did you just pour some... Then what's that? Paimon's never seen that cup.
Don't be frightened. I'm...
Who's...
Aw, have you forgotten me already?
Wait, you...
The voice from the sky, I fear... You're feeling lost now. Just as... Consider me a passerby. Just accepting a commission from my friend's disciple on a whim. The prophecy. Yes, what has been prophesied will be fulfilled.
What? Then is...
I believe you have witnessed a failed attempt with your own eyes. Can everything into... just as prophecy are the things that you shall...
What is she...
I believe that you understand, right? Some ultimately... Fate... This was good tea, by the way. Thank you for your hospitality.
The voice.
Well, I see I've walked in on some lively band.
Mona!
Fine, just fine. I went to take part in that Steambird panel. Not all Fontainians are pet.
Did she have pink hair by any chance?
Why, yes. It was I'm in full support of...
That's right!
Ah, yes. About what we had Huh? Goodness gracious. Are you serious?
She said that even the gods...
The Hexen Circle members are certainly anything but ordinary. As for the mage named N, the old hag has mentioned her a few times. She said that N's sense of direction is incredible, and that she loves guiding those who are lost. But I've never met her, and if she were still alive, she'd be... Well, suffice it to say that the hag's at least a few hundred now, and N's been around for longer than that.
Whoa. The Hexens are...
Their abilities alone are pretty terrifying.
Well, it's not like
Yes, she was. Perhaps it is something that you cannot know right now. Traveler?
Oh, we're fine. What?
I see. I feel that same sense of... I guess you could consider me someone who has often witnessed fate. But even so, perhaps that's what N was trying to tell you. Not to lose heart.
I'm sorry
to
for like
believe
coughing
that
a
what you are
lot.
seeing playing out before you is not yet set in stone. I did originally think of steering clear of all...
Huh. You do have a point.
There, it was worth trying, I suppose.
Paimon feels kind of moved by what Mona said. Hey, Traveler. Let's walk around the city, shall we? There's a few spots we always like to walk by.
Sorry.
stronghold, the fortress of my recent attack. Thus, didn't. So while the fortress is a journalist, Charlotte. Huh. Charlotte took so much. She hasn't been able to get a hold of any. Ugh, seriously? Hey, quick! Look! That's the limited edition, only 16 slices a day cake! It was so delicious the last time.
One slice of cake, please.
Someone showed up after all. Oh, wait, you're the one from the Palais Mermonia.
Oh, are you here to buy cake too?
Wait, did he really?
That's right. Even he has his own preferences.
Do you come here often?
Usually every day.
Every day?
It's part of my daily schedule, apart from work. I shall have my cake and coffee.
Then what if someone told you one day that this place would be closed?
But why would it close?
Well, Paimon...
Oh, the prophecy. To be honest, I haven't paid much attention to that. No, still, even if... No, it's the same for eating in general. You might not...
Huh.
Don't be sad. Excuse me, could I have 2 more slices of cake to go? These 2 slices are for you.
Oh, you know Seatrain?
I sure do. She was born before me, and she sometimes comes to the surface to teach us things about humans. She said that humans are creatures that are saddened easily. Yes, and you can only lift their spirits by feeding them delicious food. I've got something else to do, so I'll be going now.
And there she goes. All right, let's dig in. It's more delicious. Sure would be nice if we could always eat delicious. Oh, we're near the Seabird office. Let's go look for Charlotte and have a chat.
Wow! If it isn't the Traveler and Paimon!
Ha! You've got some...
Oh, you needn't worry. It's all right, though.
Really?
You're...
Oh, Paimon knows you're not...
Still, what brings you...
When Mona mentioned you...
I see. So, she mentioned me?
I
What did she
guess
say?
I'll be back in a minute. It's got water, so...
Nice. In which case, can...
Huh?
Oh, of course it doesn't.
Yeah, are we even...
Hopefully that helps a little.
Why not? If I... Oh, so that's a yes? Ooh, splendid! Ooh, so much...
Wait, Charlotte, Paimon's still still got a question for you.
And what's that?
If... just...
If you're from what I've seen, so in all likelihood, I'd probably still be prepping at the office for that interview of ours. Just think about it. If this nation really... And then do you know what I'd do? Well, I'd write that story, send it for print. I'm not a dreamer, but anyway.
That's so nice. Anyway, let's go and take a look at the sea, shall we? The sea breeze and scenery can be a pretty Paimon's been thinking. If it wasn't Fontaine... No, Paimon should ask if you could choose. We've always been moving to the next destination. You mean, still traveling? Huh. Feels like you'll grow mold if you stay here long enough. But it's still better than the...
So the two of you are still here.
Oh, you're from the Palais Mermonia.
Yes, I'm Isadora. Monsieur Nervillet sent me to look for you two before. I heard that afterward you went to the fortress of Meropide. Not at all. Yes, inside the Opera House. The Maréchaussée Phantom has declared the incident a small-scale riot.
A riot?
Well, that said, Lady Farina was watching a performance at the Opera House. And while she was resting during an intermission, some other audience members suddenly started harassing her, loudly accusing her of doing nothing. And before she could respond, others started to join in. The crowd continued to grow and...
So people have started to put the blame on Farina. Guess they finally...
I agree.
So what happened after...
Seeing that the situation was spiraling out of control and that further argument was pointless, she claimed that she'd gotten tired of this and left in a hurry. The Maréchaussée Phantom had their hands full maintaining order and did not catch where Lady Farina had gone.
So, you mean she's...
That's right. The Maréchaussée has dispatched many people to search for... That said, I don't think there's much to worry about. She is a god after all. Good. Monsieur Nervillet sent me to tell you about the situation, but he didn't say anything.
Don't worry, this is more than enough to...
Is that...
Well, sounds like we should hurry over to Poisson then. If we know for... And, as we also know, she made... When Nervillet was talking to her, it would be hard for her to ignore being accused. Paimon thinks for... Huh! Well, what do you think? In that case, there's not a... This place looks deserted. Guess all the survivors must have evacuated already. All that's left here are signs of devastation. Could Farina really be here? Let's try to find her as soon as possible. That's Farina, right over there.
Sorry.
Should I just give up? What was meant to happen did happen after all. I'm sorry. Give up, Farina. There's no point in holding out. I'm sorry, but what can I even do? Other than to repeat meaningless apologies over and over. Who's that?
Don't worry, Farina, it's...
So, it is you, blonde traveler from another land. Why, I almost thought you were someone from that mob of my ignorant subjects. Come to kneel and beg for my forgiveness.
Farina, you were crying just now, weren't you?
What do you mean, tear stains? Who did that uncivilized rabble think they were? Disturbing? They even dare to tout their Archon! I must teach them a lesson. Oh, and I'm sure Nouvellette and those people from the Marsh Chaussee Phantom are freaking out right next to them, too!
Hey, there she is! The Hydro Archon's over there! Quick, after!
Farina, those people seem to be after you.
They are... That's against the rules.
Farina just ran off! Quick, we have to catch up! This should be the place, right? Hey, Farina! There's a good hiding spot over here.
What?
Hurry, they're almost...
Fine, I suppose. I merely gave in to the sheer enthusiasm.
Yep, that...
What's happening?
Yeah, a quake of this kind preceded the flood.
It can't be.
Well, there's no need to worry.
Yeah, but the people of Poisson, they've all...
Hi.
It's true. I've been investigating the prophecy for hundreds of years. I once had informants all over Tevat, searching for clues and feeding information back to me. I've tried all kinds of ways, too, to hold back the sea. Anything to keep the coastline from advancing. But all my efforts proved to be futile in the end. Really, the truth has been clear to me for a very long time. We cannot make an enemy of the divine. No matter what we do, the will of the heavenly principles will have its way. Give up. Indeed. Fate is real. But just now, it all became clear to me. I still don't have the right to come to terms with fate on behalf of everyone as long as the final moment hasn't come. Don't worry. I will keep hope alive for everyone until... Well, that's enough for now. I don't take any of what I...
Come on! Paimon could have sworn you were actually being honest just now.
Cher, that's impossible. It was fated right... A witness. Yes. I heard that you came to Tevat from beyond the stars, yes. In other words, you never belonged here. And if Tevat is... If that's...
Ooh. Nice trick.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes my opening performance. Now, without further ado, we may proceed to the trial of our god.
So, this is what it is. Yes. Do not forget, however, that
May I interpret these words as your refusal to stand trial? In that case, you will have the opportunity to defend your honor through a duel.
This just got interesting.
You would draw your blade against a god? I see. It seems like you have made up.
Paimon can't believe it.
What the heck is going on? Did I just see an Archon surrender to a human?
Wow, how utterly humiliating.
Lady Farina, what is the meaning of this?
It would seem that there has been.
Looking for excuses again, huh?
I raised my hands just now to indicate my acceptance of the trial. No duel shall be necessary. I will admit that I've been running away for a long time. I'm sorry, everyone. I was unable to protect the people of Poisson. You are not the only... But now, I, Farina, will use this trial to show the world this time. Applaud and mark my words. This shall be one of the most exhilarating and brilliant shows ever to grace the stage of Fontaine! The trial of the Hydro Archon! Woohoo!
Oh, now we're making history!
Why does it feel like Farina just took over the whole thing? Like, come on! Didn't she just get forced to stand trial for her crimes? Also, even though she's still acting super dramatic, she is taking this seriously this time, right?
All right, then. Who will be my opponent in this trial?
The court asks the prosecutor to please take the stand.
Is that so? Very well. Then please speak, witness of Tivat, my accuser and fated opponent. Also, please allow me to ask, as a final question before the trial begins, just how much work did you do to force me onto this stage?
Well, we did do a lot of prep after the meeting that day.
I can go over the tasks assigned to the Spina di Rosula, since they were rather straightforward and easy.
Navia, the president of the Spina di...
Most of the people who participated in the disturbance this morning were my subordinates. They changed into plain clothes and came to the Opera House as regular audience members, waiting. The people's resentment against their Archon has been building as more and more of the prophecy is fulfilled. Moreover, according to our understanding and analysis of you, when something like that occurred, you would likely flee the scene and head to Poisson by yourself. So, we arranged for a second group to lie in wait there.
So, you mean... the ones who scoured the settlement for me were also from the...
And their goal was to force you to step into the giant magic box so you may personally participate in the greatest magic performance in all of Fontainian history.
Sorry.
That's right. That house was a magic box, rather than someone's residence.
As the super ultimate version of the setup that I used when I first performed at the Opera Epiclese, the volume of the box was increased by a whole order of magnitude, and the distance it traversed was the entire gap between Poisson and Areneas. Its cargo, of course, was an Archon instead of a human. My thanks, Farina. Without your help, we could never have pulled off such an extraordinary performance. Of course, this performance was only made possible with Father's support. The House of the Hearth spent a massive amount of labor in Mora to pull this off. We had to select a location, construct the giant...
So, in other words, the earthquake that we felt within the giant magic box...
That's right. It wasn't a sign of another disaster to come.
Then, I can guess Nervilette and Cloran, you gathered a crowd, prepared a stage, and make all so that as soon as I appeared on the stage, the trial may commence without a hitch. Am I right?
Yes, that is correct.
Well, Clorand, I must commend...
Thank you.
As for you, Traveler, I suppose your role was to keep me distracted with conversation once you found me in Poisson. You'd make sure that I didn't notice anything amiss before revealing yourself as my prosecutor once we'd arrived onto the stage. Oh? It's fine. The stage is already set, so there's no reason to disappoint the audience. Let's see this...
Madam Prosecutor, please allow me to pass this along. This is a document that Miss Charlotte applied for and received permission to share with you during the trial. According to her, it should speed up proceedings.
Huh? Charlotte wanted to give us something? Oh, so she's... Oh, let Paimon see. Wait, then that means this document is a perfect timeline of everything that's happened ever since we stepped foot in Fontaine. So in other words, we can refer to this anthology of evidence every time we want to use something from our journey as evidence for an argument. Let's quickly confirm the information in it. Just think of it as a refresher, all right?
You defeated the Hydro Archon in the very first duel you took part in at the Opera House. I didn't think that you'd wind up getting to the bottom of the case I'd been following all this time. This is the first time Monsieur Nervilette had a difference of opinion with the Oratrice. Even the Hydro Archon can't figure it out. A Fatui Harbinger. She's an extraordinary person. Her instinct must mean something. The fortress of Meripede was almost destroyed in a single day. That I didn't witness that scene personally will always be a source of professional regret, I think. According to Monsieur Neuvillette, both Child and that whale should have been in the primordial sea at that time. I nearly lost my awesome friend Navia. To be honest, that still gives me shivers. The words of someone as extraordinary as a witch can probably only be truly understood when something surreal happens to you.
The prosecution and the defense are both in position. The trial shall now begin.
Oh, come. Just fast forward to the part where the prosecution lays out my offenses. Of course, it is only natural.
That's true. But my charge here is unrelated to your conduct as an Archon. Instead, I would like to charge you as a fraud, who's never been the Archon in the first place.
Wait, what was that? Lady Farina's a fraud?
Hey, I came here thinking that we were going to try the Hydro Archon for forsaking her duty, but did I hear that right? She's not our Archon at all?
Charge accepted. Lady Farina, do you plead guilty to the charge? Lady Farina.
I plead not guilty. How can I be guilty? There is no way that I, Focalor, otherwise known as Farina de Fontaine, a member of the Seven and the Regina of all waters, kindreds, peoples, and laws of Fontaine, could be anything other than your—
Yeah. Even though Lady Farina can be rather eccentric, isn't it going too far to doubt her very identity?
Yeah, I've never questioned her identity either. Sure, Lady Farina can be super irresponsible, but what grounds does that prosecutor have to make such a huge claim?
I have cause to believe that common sense will prevail in this case. Many of the members of the audience have known me as the Hydro Archon ever since they were born. There would see. Even the Oratrice has decided to show me its favor. If you wish to drop the case, I can—
An argument with near impossible odds, huh? We have to not only refute Farina's claims, but also overturn the long-held beliefs of the people.
Well, and if I was not the Archon, then—
That doesn't sound right. First of all,
who gave you that?
A curse? I once thought it possible that the aura of an Archon might naturally resemble a type of curse. But in light of this claim, perhaps what I sensed was not your divinity, but a curse after all.
You sensed it too, huh, Neuvillette?
Lady Farina, well...
Well, don't start celebrating too early now. Besides, every everyone knows that the main difference between a human and a god is the possession of authority. For centuries, one need only to turn their eyes toward...
That doesn't...
Mm-mm.
You tried to reference the...
Didn't I make myself clear at the time?
Lady Farina, I believe a reminder of your current circumstances is in order. While the court is in session, you will prove yourself unable to defend against the prosecution's charges if you continue to withhold vital That was no trick of rhetoric, Lady Farina. I've merely reiterated the rules of the court. Rules that all should respect and follow.
So, you neither knew why Child was declared guilty, nor did you, instead of having been created by you, the manifestations of authority you mentioned have been made by the real Hydro...
The real Hydro Archon. Well, now it is true that I did not know, but the Oratries handed out that verdict unilaterally. You can't...
She's still throwing out all kinds of excuses. Seems like she's confident that we won't be able to produce proof that she has no...
My power as...
If that poses a...
You don't need to go that far.
Aren't you the Hydro Archon? Or...
Indemnitium! Yes! It's all because of Indemnitium! All Archons derive their... Thus did I give up all of my divine power to provide everyone with energy for their daily lives. Have you ever seen a more magnanimous god?
Isn't that a huge stretch?
Yeah, no matter how...
It seems like nobody's buying Farina's excuse.
Hey, come now, everyone. I'm still the same, please.
If what the prosecutor said is true, she really has committed a grave offense.
Did she deceive all of us?
Enough. That's enough. Tell me then, if you have no evidence of...
Wow, she came up with yet another argument. How can we refute her now? Seems like she really... that doesn't sound right.
Nope.
Since you insist on claiming to be a god and not a human, then there's a method that you can use right here and now to eliminate all suspicions of you being...
Miss Navia, please apply to serve as a temporary attorney for the prosecution before addressing the court.
Super sorry, Monsieur Chief Justice. I swear this really will be the last time that I'll speak out of... Now,
I've brought some seawater from Poisson. As everyone knows, a massive flood struck the area not long ago, including those of some of my closest friends. So, Miss Farina, would you dare to touch some of this seawater? If we are to believe that you are indeed the real Hydro Archon, touching this seawater would have no effect on you. But if you don't dare to touch it, then we would have basically proved the reverse. Oh, and I must remind you that after the disaster at Poisson, nobody wants to see any more people dissolve. I do hope you'll act prudently and shoot
Navia from the Spina di Rasula. The Spina has governed Poisson for many years. I guess her suggestion is valid.
If Lady Farina is indeed just a human, she's probably Fontainian like all the rest of us. Would she really dare to try?
Lady Farina, this...
Well, of course he had to tell.
She's just staring at the wall.
What's going on?
Due to the inherent risk...
Hey!
I'm fine! Look at me, will you believe me?
Miss Siegewing, if you're...
Siege? Well, don't be nervous. It'll just take a few seconds.
Please announce the result.
As everyone doubtlessly saw, Miss Farina was displaying symptoms of hyperventilation. She was
Thank you, Miss Siegewing. Lady Farina.
Oh, wait. What did she just say?
Well, considering your tendency to run from your problems, we did originally prepare a direct sample of the seawater. However, after extensive discussion, we exchanged it for a sample that is not concentrated enough to dissolve an actual... We don't want anyone else to lose it.
Yeah, so out of regard for Farina's life, it's a great thing that the direct sample wasn't actually used for...
I can't believe... Listen to me, everyone! Think about it! How can you conclusively prove that an Archon can't also be affected by the primordial seawater? Anyone, just listen to me! I swear, I really am your Archon!
I don't think anything she...
With all the things that have been said, Paimon doesn't think there's any way left for Farina to...
I believe the time for arguments and presentation of evidence has come to an end. If there are no objections, we will move on to the final judgment.
I don't think anything she says at this point will sway me until she's two-stepped against her now.
In my capacity as Chief Justice, I shall now render judgment on Farina's misrepresentation of herself as the Archon of Fontaine. As a human who knowingly deceived her fellow citizens, Farina is... guilty.
Oof.
We shall now turn to the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale to render the final verdict on the charges. According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mechanic...
Well, what's wrong? What's the Oratrice's verdict?
No, the Oratrice also displays a guilty verdict.
Isn't that correct?
However, the exact to be punished via the death sentence.
Whoa.
That's actually one of the available sentences? I've always
Didn't
thought
they-
that it was just a myth.
The one and only time the death sentence has been handed out at the court, and it's been given to the very person we've worshipped as the god of justice? What an
Wow.
unexpected twist.
Farina's been sentenced to death by the Oratrice? We just wanted to use the trial to show her the seriousness of things so she'd tell us the truth. How did things escalate this quickly?
This outcome is indeed quite strange. According to Fontaine's current definition, is this sentence really appropriate for the crimes that have been committed?
Yeah! Even Mache wasn't sentenced to death by the Oratrice. You know, the real evil mastermind behind the serial disappearances case.
Indeed. But now, the Oratrice seems to have deliberately invoked the title of the Hydro Archon.
Excuse me, if I may interrupt. Is the trial still—
Fremine! You finally made it.
Mm-hmm. Any mission, Father—
Is that the first prophecy? Huh.
I looked everywhere and finally found it at the bottom of the sea. It took me a long time to get around some dangerous stretches of water. But has the trial already concluded? Then—
Thank you for your hard work, Mr. Fremine. Please allow me...
Now, for people watching. Hello.
Traveler, I believe that you have already seen the other existing slates.
Huh? So what do you see?
I believe I've now...
So when you say Hydro Archon, do you mean the real Hydro Archon we've been kinda talking about?
In truth, everything that you've encountered in Fontaine up until this point can be traced back to the contents of these stone slates. However, I'm uncertain as to how much sense they currently make to you.
Okay, let's try to recall the The first stone slate describes what you just said. It seems to show the previous Hydro Archon using her divine power, and then the Oceanids turn into humans. Does that mean that Fontanians are transformed Oceanids? Oh, Paimon wasn't expecting that. The second stone slate shows Celestia floating in the sky, and the Hydro Archon and her people worshipping it together. But this must be the point when the Hydro Archon and the Fontanians were branded with their original sin. Does this mean that the original sin and the Hydro Archon sin are the same thing? The third slate shows the Hydro Archon sinking into the sea surrounded by many people. Huh. That reminds Paimon, didn't we also watch that happen to someone else? Well, the fourth slate is the prophecy the Fontanians have been talking about. People dissolving into the sea, the Hydro Archon crying on her throne, and so on. We didn't believe that such a crazy disaster could happen at first, did we? That doesn't...
Nope. Nope.
That doesn't sound quite right. That doesn't...
Nope.
That doesn't sound quite...
Nope.
That doesn't...
Eh. I'm not even thinking.
We know from the case of the serial disappearances of young women that Fontanians can be dissolved, and the first stone slate tells this might be the reason that Fontanians can dissolve.
That doesn't...
Nope.
That doesn't...
Nope.
That doesn't...
Nope.
Perhaps what is about to take place has all happened before. The true sin of the Hydro-Archon and the original sin cast down on the people of Fontaine.
That was a no.
That doesn't sound quite right.
It's not a sin. When Navia found the stone slates, show the people get.
That doesn't...
The prophecy from the fortress of. If we hadn't dealt with it in time.
They'll dissolve into the primordial sea, but won't cease to exist. The Hydro-Archon was sentenced to death in court, shocking everyone present. Perhaps this... Navia fell into the water inside those ruins, and she nearly dissolved. She was surrounded by the people of Poisson in a court within her consciousness, and was forced to take part in a trial meant to make her stay. The eruption of the primordial sea at the fortress of Meripede was the surest sign that the prophecy was about to come to pass no matter what. The prophecy's contents can all be verified by recent events. Huh? Oh, Paimon gets it now! So that's how you can make sense of it! But then it feels...
Let's hear them.
Incredible. Linny, did you hear?
We're...
All Fontanians were originally created by the late previous The evidence for that can be found... Oh, and according to Navia, when she was about to get dissolved, she also saw everyone gathered around for a
Indeed.
Yeah, and it follows from the content of the that could also explain...
The Hydro Archon's true sin?
And yet, after many hundreds of years, the Hydro...
Yeah, isn't the so wouldn't it be trying to show the image of the Hydro Archon in the end? Did Paimon get all that right?
You've made some keen deductions. I must say, given how much you still don't know, it is impressive that you've already managed to connect so many pieces of the truth. However, while you were able to decode all the information on the slates, when we were at the ruins, I tried to decipher the hidden information recorded in the slates. Now that the slate collection is complete, I believe I should share this truth not only with you, but with all your hypotheses regarding the origin of Fontanians and in the Fontaine of old. The previous Hydro Archon sensed the yearning of her Oceanid familiars for life on land. The Oceanids were enamored with the beauty and romanticism of human beings, and wishing to have those experiences for themselves, expressed to the However, even though not one to give in, she eventually found a way to create permanent humanoid bodies for her. She poured primal. But if Fontanians were to... Of course, the Hydro Archon never received permission from the heavenly principles to create a new human race. And thus, the Hydro Archon and all of her creations came to shoulder the original sin of appropriating the power of the primordial sea. That is the
So you...
That's way too much information for me. I think I'm just going to pretend that I never heard a single thing.
Oh, sorry. I just think it's funny. Control. Okay, you can just pretend like you never heard it. It's probably for the best.
Wait, but if that's the truth, we can't let the Hydra...
This really might be too much information for your regular...
Alas, your hypothesis regarding a key point of the visual on the third slate, they have not been dissolved, which implies the nation of Fontaine is the nation of Hydro as well. You may also recall Navia's experience. When she fell into the sea, her consciousness was surrounded by that of many others who intended to hold a trial to determine her fate. Therefore, that the people of Fontaine shall try the Hydro... Yes, it refers to our present situation.
I think I'm following now. In truth, everything we've done...
What should we do?
Huh.
If that's the case...
Traveler, I would like to point out another small fallacy in your deductions about the fourth slate. You probably thought that the eruption of primordial seawater beneath the fortress of Meripede served as the surest... However, I believe that rather than being a sure sign, that eruption could in fact only be a small warning of something far worse to come. As for the root cause of the catastrophe, I believe you've already encountered it once before. This eruption was just a small warning of the things to come.
It was both dream and reality.
If we're talking about a true culprit...
The truth, the original sin.
That was way too close! How did that thing just burst into the Opera House? Wait, was that the huge whale you saw?
So we've met it at last. I understand that whale does not belong to Tevat. It is a monster that has traversed the stars, weeping all the while. It has been greedily consuming the energy from the planet's primordial sea, using it to grow. That is the main cause for the rising sea levels. And once it has finished consuming all of the energy contained within the sea, its next step will be...
You said that when the Hydro Archon first created Fontanians out of Oceanids,
Precisely. That whale finds the blood of Fontanians. Therefore, when it left the primordial sea...
We just barely managed to push it back, right? In that case, won't it come back to target the people again, once it's managed to recover its strength?
That is correct. Indeed, it is more accurate to say that we should thank that Harbinger for buying us some time. From the way he looked, he must have been fighting the creature for quite a long time.
That battle maniac. We've always known that he had a special connection with that whale, but we definitely didn't expect it to help us out like this. Anyway, now that we know that this whale is the actual cause of the disaster recorded in the prophecy...
It is too late. It had already absorbed too much of the primordial sea's energy before we could notice it. At this point, it has become practically integrated with the sea itself. Even if the entirety of Tevat were to be destroyed, it could still survive and swim off to...
That's not... We've already done... We've come so far.
Indeed. That's not how a grand
I'll fight it to the end.
So the prophecy will be fulfilled no matter what, huh?
The prophecy. Yes, what has been prophesied. Just as prophecies are usually only the future as seen from the perspectives of the gods, could things be happening in hidden corners where the gods' gaze does not fall? Ultimately, fate shall serve as your only guide, no matter what will happen in Tevat's future.
What's happening with the aura trees?
I believe it is preparing to carry out the death sentence.
Farina! No, I still need answers.
You...
Sorry. That shocked expression.
You are not for...
The sweet sound of
Focalo.
Oh, that wasn't my goal, of course. Good. The Heavenly Prince...
Deceiving the Heavenly...
It's all because of that pernicious prophecy. Dreadful, wasn't it? Everyone doomed to dissolve. One was not amused. She knew full... And as one of the seven, she also knew full well that one defies the heavenly... So yes, as you have no doubt surmised, it was a rather impossible situation that I spent a terribly long time mulling it over, alone on the ocean floor. I had to outwit the heaven... I'm a genius, I know. I can only assume that's why Egeria chose me as her success. Although, looking back now, it was hardly the inheritance one dreams of. Between... But one can only play the hand one is dealt. I did not choose this, any more than...
So you were also once one of the Oceanids?
Yes, I was. I always dreamed of becoming human. And I still do, even now. After becoming a god, I separated my divinity from my body and spirit, leaving behind only a self that was as naive and bewildered as my past self on her first day as a human being. The me, you see, she could feel joy, sorrow, and her strength. But in my eyes, Farina's humanity was what made her perfect. She was perfectly... Anyway, it's all part of the plan. Do you still remember in order that the prophecy might appear fulfilled, I invited Farina to be an actress, to play under the curse I placed on her. So long as I, Focalor's divinity, continued to exist, she could not die. But nor was she free to live her life. Instead, she was forced to take the stage in the opera. I suppose now you probably understand why you...
But Farina is only human, isn't she? Even though she has had a long life, her mind is no stronger than that of any other. I cannot begin to fathom what she has had to endure.
It has indeed. It's been 5, and all along, she's been playing her part in the most unimaginably long, unbearably lonely.
Oh, who permitted you to come onto the stage? All right. It is not my intent to reprimand you. There is no need to state your name. Just be off with you. Do not distract me from my performance. I am Focalor. The eyes of countless Fontainians are upon me. I must, at all times, display the utmost elegance and nobility. Dear audience, the performance is experiencing a technical difficulty, but worry not. The guards shall resolve it soon enough.
Here! Worthless! Worthless!
Hey, what gives? The audience is still watching me, you know. Guards? Wait, where are the guards? Guards!
This is order.
Useless.
Lament! Worthless!
Oh.
Furina.
Huh? Who's that? Who's calling me? Where are...
Be not nervous. Be not afraid.
Wait a moment. You're... Mirror me?
Mirror you, huh? You know what? That's not bad.
Mirror me?
The prophecy. Have you heard of it?
What prophecy? The people will all...
Oh, very good. You know it well.
What's going on? But doesn't that mean everyone will die?
I will tell you how to save.
Oh, as for the suffering, well, I will admit that the first thing that came to mind was, why do I have to be the one to suffer? But if there were scales, with all the people of Fontaine on one side, and my pain on the other, is it not obvious where the scales should tilt?
I suppose this would also be the justice that belongs to you.
Huh?
Don't worry.
Play as...
That's right. You must begin a never-ending masquerade. You must never let anyone suspect your identity. If you can keep it up, then I shall have my way of defying this prophecy.
But how will I do this? A human assuming the role of a god without being exposed.
Don't worry. Being a human yourself, I'm sure you already know what such an entity would be like. Remember, you're...
I'm still not sure I understand, but... So, how long...
To a combat, I promise you. All will eventually end in a magnificent and dramatic trial, and everyone will be saved.
A trial.
Sorry.
The maison. What should I say to most appear like a god? I'm sure you've all heard. In truth, I know little about as the god Focalor. Once again, think this should do it. I thought I might stammer, but thankfully...
That's the new Hydro Archon. Is this some kind of joke by the Maison? I would have thought that a being that surpasses humanity would be a...
Hey, did you hear that? She even told us to send her suggestions there at the end.
Shouldn't gods be all-powerful? She's being so modest.
If you ask me, perhaps the succession didn't actually happen. She might just be a Maison-backed puppet.
Wait, what's going on? Right. Mirmi said that I just need to play the role of a god as humans imagine them to be. Calm down, Furina. Think. Assertive. With a... Now, I was wondering if some... Well, it seems that you would all see right through them. Having passed my test, you are qualified. You may consider... Now then!
So that was just a performance. How could I have forgotten that we were inside an opera house?
Her personality? It's quite shocking, to be honest, but I suppose it's a better look than before. Such a fascinating and bold deity. How wonderful! Our future may yet be bright after all.
It seems I've turned them around. My dear people, whether you acknowledge me or not, whether you trust me or nay, I say to you, we have heard it said that this won't work. They'll suspect me again. I must play the role that they want me to play. The scales of May Law be the prayer on our lips. May judgment be our worship. There is, so long as I...
Yes! Oh, yeah!
Lady Farina, here are today's case reports as well as a sub.
Besides,
If. That's true,
No need for fright. And do not take what I said before too seriously. Go now.
Lady Farina,
No need to... All right. Deuteria, is it?
He is doing much better now.
Lady Farina.
I see. It's as I thought then. All manner of
Well...
Really?
I'm...
The day is finally over. I haven't had a moment to breathe this whole time, but it's good to see that everything's getting on track. There are no longer any voices of suspicion. Maybe this is fine.
Lady Farina, here are the new trial reports for the latest cases, as well as a summary of the follow-up.
Lady Farina.
Indeed, my...
Lady Farina, we're detecting significant hydrological...
Understood. I feel utter...
Lady Farina, it's like a dream being able to speak with you up close like this. I've heard that the first member... Are you crying?
This must be the overflow of hydro from my person. Well, can't quite help being the god.
No.
So, in hundreds of years must have passed by now. I never met, have I want to tell someone, anyone, about this. I've conducted, so all I can do is keep heart. Farina, you don't have, although I don't know what you might... Share that's impossible. But even if your bird, just share it with a witness. And if to that... She's right. I could confide in her, but if things don't play out as expected, no, Farina. But what if... Farina, is it such an outrage if you let this... Think about it. Long and hard. No. All you need to do, dear spectator, is... Fine.
So even Farina doesn't know the...
Yes, she did very well. If she had let her resolve falter even once it seems that trusting humanity was the right
I believe that I understand how your deception works, but that is only half the truth. How would you build on this foundation to save the people of Fontaine?
Ah, good, good. Of course the Iudex of Fontaine has pinpointed the... I'm sure you...
I've always suspected that it had its own consciousness. And Lenny did mention that he heard a human voice within the... It now seems that that person was you.
And then I became one with the Oratories, taking Fontaine's gnosis with me. Yes. Alas, you're under... In truth, it is no enactor of justice. Oh, you have it. And to be more precise, not only will the Oratories take down the god of justice... I mean, did you think my work over these last 500 years has been to constantly accumulate indemnitium within the Oratory? But really... Some have already discovered that only a small fraction of the energy generated by the device was ever used to provide. The vast majority has been. Had to be.
It was all a part of your plan.
Indeed. This power accrued over 5 centuries, but...
So the Oratrice's call for death was for neither Farina nor Focalor, but for the Hydro-Ark. The destruction of that divine throne. If I do not misunderstand your intent...
Returning what's rightfully yours to... In other words, this was all done to return the authority of the High... Oh, what? Getting sad again, are we? The authority of the...
All you've done...
I've never quite seen it that way, you know. Hydro Dragon. I must say, had it been within my rights, Egeria stole the power of the primordial sea. And the heaven... I, for my part, speaking of justice... I have always believed that so, if the theft of the primordial seas, then, leaving in other words, defying the... At this point, Iudex Nerville...
So when at last... In the beginning, I was uninterested in human existence. But these 5 centuries of... You are a deviant, things being as they are. Surely you know that I could never declare them to be guilty.
The hour of my execution is almost here. For the sinner, the curtain call has come. I know I may not sound it, but faced with death, I find myself a little afraid. Perhaps this is one thing both gods and humans have in common. Farewell, Nervillette. I hope you've enjoyed the part you played these 500 years.
Oof. Wow, that's hard to watch.
I, Judex Nuvelet, hereby declare, people of Fontaine, your sins are forgiven.
What just happened?
Was that bright lights?
But...
It's time to end. I have gained the strengths of... We should seize the opportunity to pursue our quarry. Traveler, now that the oratories can... The root of the calamities. Come with me, Traveler.
But how are we going to do that? It's huge!
I have already done my best to separate the power of the primordial sea from the whale. Considering the size of the beast, I cannot reach the power source. Unless we can find a way to attack it from within. I shall share a part of the ancient dragon's power with you. We shall look for an opening together. I can feel its sorrow turning into hostility. The all-devouring narwhal cannot resist its instinct to devour. Continue to trigger its hostility. It will present itself.
Disappear! Useless!
I have granted you my protection. Do not fear. Seize the moment and use my power to suppress its roots from within.
Solidify!
Wind strike!
Gather! Stabilize!
Lament! Worthless! 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 Here!
Gather!
Evil conquering! Here!
Thanks for helping with the cleanup. It should have been my job, but it was just supposed to be a short private training session for me. Well, actually, I had a feeling that it would—
That power.
It's just that he is the
I simply did not, so you may speak to me as equals. I have to agree, that kind of power— All in all—
Miss Skirk? I think you might have missed the point.
The point being—
Well, being that this pet almost destroyed an entire nation. So what sort of person is your master? Well, child's masters.
Oh, right. So you don't know him. Sorry, I assumed you did. His name is Sir Tologi.
I am unfamiliar.
Huh. So Master isn't sufficiently famous.
The foul.
Still nothing? Well, how about the Visionary? Vetterfulnir, then? Or—
Ooh, that one we've heard. Rhine part of the Hexen Circle. She's Albedo's mom, right?
Oh, so you do know that name. To be honest, I also heard all of those names and titles from my master. But I suppose you understand now, yes? My master is likely a similar sort to Rhine.
Wait, didn't you also mention a visionary person?
Actually, never mind that. That the all-devouring narwhal used up nearly all its strength fighting you. Such roiling hydro energies will prove difficult for the planet's deep seas to digest. As such, the fontaine back on the surface has most likely been thrown into chaos. In other words, the prophecy that you've been fretting over should now be in full swing.
What?
Not to worry. Focalor has already...
In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only Farina will remain, weeping on her throne. Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away.
Hey! Help! Over here! All hands, initiate emergency rescue! Hurry! Hey, lend a hand!
Look! The water's receding!
It's a miracle!
Water's receding.
We didn't dissolve. The prophecy was wrong. The prophecy was wrong.
Are you alright?
Yeah.
We're saved.
The prophecy was wrong.
The soil renewed. The Spiritu Rasula attacks post-disaster rebuilding. I recently visited Poisson to meet with old soil can still give birth to new bloom, Miss Navia stated. Skyship Winglet, lunar brain of the Fontaine Research Institute. The various disputes that have arisen on account of Mr. Edwin have settled. People always call the first research. Wow! Paimon barely recognizes the people in the reports. Are those really Jurier and Navia? They sound like real big shots.
What do you think? Pretty enthralling, huh? The value for these big scoops, Edwin's assistant, Jurier, create.
Paimon's curious too.
And that's exactly.
Are you?
Oh, this time we'll.
Oh, it's you.
Hey, we're just having a look.
I'm here to update my...
Let me introduce you. This is Mr. Garunt Snezhevich. He represented the Knave in sending us a large amount of supplies. Our residents are...
Hello, Miss Charlotte. I'm a big fan of yours, but if you don't mind...
I get where you're coming from.
That would be fine.
Oh, you're back too. How are things?
We finished laying down the construction materials. It'll be an...
Huh? You here?
Well, her reputation's greatly risen after that whole
There's too much to consider in the reconstruction of Poisson.
Oh, wait, just a moment. Do you mind me asking a few questions?
Forget it.
I see you're the same as...
Well, if we're talking about doing things for my sake, you might as well just...
Of course I will. I'm not gonna let her off that easy. All right, then everyone who wants to be in the photo, gather up.
How did it go? Was it a good shot?
Not bad. Your addition really helped the composition of the picture. All right, hang on a moment. Let me snap a few more shots. All right, that should do it. I'll be back here later anyway, so let's call it a day.
You're very quick.
Speed is of the essence when it comes... Also, not to brag, but I'm pretty good at building connections.
Wow, you...
I'll hazard a guess that this is how you got that interview.
Whoa, you're well informed.
That's a...
In truth, I told him that it was best not to speak too soon.
You're right. I've got to treasure every...
Stay safe now, and tell...
Reduced to just standing around. How absurd.
Wow, guess we're here again, huh? There's a real nostalgia.
Looks like you've been missing it.
Duke! Did you come?
Of course. I'm here to welcome you and our dear
It's an honor to finally meet the much-rumored...
No need to thank me. But that said, I shouldn't be the focus of your interview. I trust you recall our agreement?
Of course, of course.
All right then, this way.
Hey, no, Miss Charlotte, do these pictures really need to be—
It would seem that Miss Lorvine doesn't want her faced.
Sir, please don't say things like—
But it looks like—
No,
Now, I might not look it, but I actually did meet Mr. Edwin once. And I'll be honest, the boat that brought about a miracle, the ark that saved the people— Still, if I might add—
I have to apologize, but that ship is presently in the bowels of our factory. I'm afraid it won't be easy for you to get a shot of it.
Really?
You already know my answer, I'm afraid. Best you interview our head nurse instead. Or perhaps—
Did you really have to use the word— Well, then, 2 solo photos will do.
Is my hair messed up? Please, someone help me have a look.
Things sure are getting pretty lively here.
Oh, seems like everyone's here. Would any of you like to—
Ah.
Hey, Miss Charlotte. Why don't you— sure.
Sure. Do I have to smile? So, how have things been at the—
Same old, as you can see. Fontaine's undergone some changes, but—
Other than that flying ship, it got a tad too much attention,
That's why I decided—
You're too kind, sir.
I see.
He sure did win—
I'll tell them that there's—
Oh.
What change can there be? As to what Miss Farina's departure will mean for the nation, and if our laws and governance will be transformed, we'll leave—
Hey, everyone. The photo shoot's done.
Good. In that case, let's call it a—
Thanks for your cooperation. Come on, Traveler, let's go.
There'll be a next time?
Maybe. Who knows? All right. Last stop, the docks.
The damned will sooner die again than lay a hand on me.
Useless. Navia mentioned that she stayed in touch with Linny and the others after working together. Apparently, they've been at the docks distributing these strange pockets the whole—
Traveler, Paimon. Ah, and Miss Charlotte.
Would you like a magic pocket? What sort of gadget? It's a wondrous bag that can be used to carry many things. Trick a friend. You could just make a friend like Fremine here. Isn't that right, Fremine?
Is this what you meant by, I'll help you make some more
To be honest, that sounds pretty sweet. Could I have your...
You sure are working hard to help Fremine socialize.
He was the one who proposed doing this. He even wants...
Yes, I was planning to first introduce Pear as an assistant, and later Fremine himself. In the future, I think we can leave underwater escape magic to him too.
That said, would anyone want to see a diver escape underwater?
Oh, it'll work out. Every journey begins with the first step. He'll become a part of our show eventually.
Lynette, could you...
Got it.
My, that Charlotte is rather perceptive. She got rid of everyone the moment she realized I had something to say to you. Father says that you did a great deal during the latest events. She's very grateful for your contributions to Fontaine.
That's alright. We were more than happy to help. So, what's...
Oh, I guess you haven't heard. Well, after Lady Farina left, Father and Monsieur Neuvillette opened negotiations, during which he gave Fontaine's gnosis to her as a diplomatic gift.
A diplomatic gift?
Yes, I wish it could have been done as an apology for the incident with Lord Child, or as thanks for his help in tying the all-devouring narwhal down. Furthermore, Father did also lend significant aid to Fontaine.
That's true, but...
I would agree. I suspect you'll have to ask him about that yourself.
Isn't he... But back to the top...
They say that he's returned to Snezhnaya to recover from his wounds. I hear that the recent disaster really did a number on his health.
That's true. When you think about it, we've had loads of run-ins with the Fatui. To think we'd be allied with them this time.
So shocked by such a simple switching of sides?
Father!
Well, well, what do you know?
Are you going to take the gnosis?
That is our duty. Don't be too preoccupied with sides. The goal of the Fatui concerns not a single place or person, but the entire world. With such a grand goal, and switching my masks is something I've always done. Well, that depends on many things. As for you, I very much look forward to our next collaboration. Good things cannot be achieved alone, and you've proved yourselves to be great partners. A vision.
And that's a wrap for me. Huh?
Greetings, Miss Journalist.
Hello?
That is correct. So forgive me, but I will not be able to serve as a subject in your article. However, feel free to write as much as you'd like about our dear magicians and our upcoming rookie talent. The sea breeze is quite pleasant.
Farewell, Father.
Oh, she has such an intimidating presence. I didn't even dare to take a picture. Thankfully, I've already wrapped up all my pre-scheduled interviews. Thank you all.
Don't be too nervous. Why don't you take a magic pocket before you go? Here, Traveler, Paimon, you take one too.
To move things about?
That's right. I guess this must be Alright then. We'll be handing out pockets and some other...
Well, you said Charlotte, huh? Shall we go see what Neuvillette's doing? As long as he's not so busy that he doesn't have time to chat anyway.
Useless.
The entrance to the fortress! Ooh, he really is there! So, you really are here, Neverland! Paimon didn't think you were going to have free time this...
Really? Oh, I suppose you must have met Mr. Linney. In any case, you came at a good time. I was just considering reaching out to you to set up a meeting, so I may explain some things that I haven't had the time to before.
Aw, Paimon's good. Alright, let's have it then.
It is strange how words can often leave a bitter taste in the mouth when it finds...
Whoa. So that's what happened? Focalor destroyed the divine throne of the Hydro Archon and restored your power to you, transforming... But Paimon still doesn't quite get what you did to save the Fontanians from
For me, the authority of the ancient dragons refers to absolute control over the hydro element. Fontanians were incomplete humans born of Egeria's use of the power of the primordial sea, with constitutions similar to that of mimics. But so long as those primordial energies remain within them, I could use the ancient dragon's authority to grant them true blood, after the fashion in which life was first brought into being on this planet. In other words, when I gave my verdict, Fontanians became true humans, and thus would naturally no longer be dissolved by water from the primordial sea.
Focalor must have counted on you to make that decision as well. Yeah, and in a manner of speaking, Focalor finally managed to fulfill the original Hydro Archon's wish to turn Oath.
It seems from your expressions that you still have more things you wish to ask. Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it. I have investigated his case along many avenues, and I have learned that he once fell into an unknown chasm when he was young. There, by chance, he awakened the all-devouring narwhal. But whether it be by sentiment or reason, that should not have been enough to consider him the root cause of the disaster. As for the judgment passed by the orator, whether it was due to that liability by association or Focalor...
Guess Focalor hang on a second. Paimon suddenly got another question. Back when Fontanians hadn't yet become...
Life has always flowed like water.
Yeah, Lynette said the fountain is where all the water...
In truth, even those couples did not know that such prayers were no mere custom. Those Oceanids who were blessed within the spring water would later descend as new humans in the coming months.
Paimon sorta gets...
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Oh, that's right!
Leaving aside their intentionality, their sole remaining goal in Fontaine, the Oratrice has seen... As such, it has lost all... If the Fatui have... Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it. You will soon be heading to I'm afraid that I have little talent. As far as I'm aware, Natlan can be said to be a nation of dragons.
A nation of dragons? You mean like you?
No, I suspect that I would not find myself welcome there. Unlike ancient dragons such as myself, the dragons of Natlan have undergone long years of development and evolution. Large numbers of them have entered a form of coexistence with humanity. Natlan is also the nation of war. There is one other piece of the harbinger known as the Captain has... I suggest that you fully prepare your... Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Yeah, about...
Ah, Lady Farina. I related Focalor's words to her faithfully and completely. She simply said that she was tired and needed to rest. Having said that, she then packed her things and moved out of the opera house. Not unlike how an ordinary person might.
But she...
You need not worry. I will make arrangements to ensure that she will not want for food, clothes. In truth, I am somewhat happy for her. The wear and tear on her spirit will, of course, take time to heal. But now that she no longer has to play the role of Focalor the Hydro Archon, she can finally lay down her...
What about you then?
After Focalor passed on, the Oratrice also ceased to function. This matter will directly affect our trials.
Looks like you're still considering...
As an elemental dragon, there are indeed many things that I must do. As such, before I attend to my other responsibilities, I must first and foremost continue to serve Fontaine as its highest judge. The duty of the Hydro Sovereign and the duty of the Iudex shall coexist within my person. Additionally, the Hydro Archon's departure has brought about another problem, which is that the Opera House shall no longer produce indemnitium.
That's true. That power was derived from the people's faith in the Hydro... Wait, but the various mechs and machines in the city are all still okay.
As I am now, I have full command over New Musia, and it can serve as a complete substitute.
Wow.
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
When we spoke to Linny earlier, he mentioned that your attitude towards giving away the Gnosis had clearly changed. We guessed that there might be some...
No wonder the House of the Hearth is the Fatui's intelligence division. So regarding this specific issue, I was just... In truth, I exchanged some further words with that lady named Skirk after sending you two back to the surface. It went something like this.
Well, we're going to head topside to see what's going on. You hurry over soon as well, all right, Nervalet?
What next?
The all-devouring narwhal isn't here, so I'm no longer getting any interference. I can finally catch the scent of your power. It is the authority of the planet's primordial dragons. But with something I'm sure I've encountered something like this before.
I do not know.
You should have the
Remains?
Huh.
Well, that much is true, but I fear I have never...
I've been training with... It is only natural for those who are greater than human. Regardless, to live in itself is a blessing.
What do you mean by...
No need to fret. These are just my...
This third descender you refer to, who are they?
Master never mentioned them to me. If you're interested, though, I could ask him.
Next time.
I do.
Sorry.
That's what she told me.
The remains of the so that's what the Gnosis actually are.
All the same, assuming that...
And she said that...
If she speaks the truth... I guess that you might already... That means that the Gnosis, which are exceedingly element compatible...
Like... No, let's... Comparing the Traveler to the Death, that's what you say, but...
I too believe it unwise to make too many blind guesses when information is lacking.
Alright.
Yes.
But... she sacrificed herself in the end as a god.
I suppose that would be the mystery of... I suspect not. But once in a while, I too would guess that if wishes were like life flows like... And what ultimately...